Hi, my name is Sean Lazar,
Hi, I'm Bob Wilkin.
and this is a follow-up video to the last video that we recorded on is it biblical to trust in Jesus for everlasting life? And we had a lot of follow-up questions, people who were kind of intrigued and maybe a little bit alarmed about what they said, and they said they wondered, what, you guys don't trust in Jesus? And it made it seem like to them that we were saying you shouldn't believe in him.
You shouldn't, we shouldn't trust.
Right, and so our point was, there's a difference between believing and trusting in Jesus. Now in English, it can be a synonym. You know, in English, common English, we can just say trust and believing in Jesus means the same thing, but biblically speaking, the only condition of everlasting life is to believe in Jesus, and biblically speaking, trusting in him is not a condition of everlasting life.
Right, and the problem you brought up the last time is, I think you quoted R.C. Sproul, and who was it, John Frame?
John Frame, yeah.
And both of them went this way. They said, faith is trust, or they didn't even quite say it that way,
No, what
did
they said was, you had to believe, but believing wasn't enough.
Oh, it wasn't enough.
You also had to trust, and trust,
and then what did they say as trust?
They defined trust as obedience, commitment, doing good works, and that is what really concerned us.
So it's kind of like a Trojan horse.
Yeah, they weren't using it as a synonym at all. They were using it to add works to faith.
So if you say that trust is commitment, it's submission to the Lordship of Christ, it's obedience, it's works, well then you have a way of kind of bringing into the castle the idea of work salvation, even though you're using a word, trust, that could be a synonym. And I remember Don Bungay wrote a good book called Whatever Happened to the Word Believe, and he argues, why not use a perfectly good biblical word? If you want to use a synonym later, fine, but why not say whoever believes in him has everlasting life before you start talking about trust? And certainly we don't want to say, right, that trust is something in addition that, these people who say believing is not enough, that drives me nuts.
It does, because what was Jesus' own message? We want to use Jesus' own language in presenting the message of life to people. And we can't improve on Jesus' own language. And what was the language that he used in the Gospel of John and elsewhere?
Yeah, he clearly said, he who believes in me has everlasting life. And you know the bracelets, the what would Jesus do? We know what he did. He said, he who believes in me has everlasting life. And so, and the apostles did too. So it's like this idea of trust. You do a concordance study in the New Testament, you'll see there are no uses of trust in a salvific context.
One of the burdens of our ministry, Grace Evangelical Society, and the magazine we publish, Grace in Focus, is to cut through all of this Christianese, all of this confusing language about the message of life, and get a very clear message of life out there. And one of the ways we do that is we try to imitate Jesus' own words. We just want people to use the same message that Jesus preached to people. Believe, believe, believe. If you want to use trust as a synonym, okay, but you have to be very careful, because most people don't use it as a synonym. Like Bob said, most people use it as a Trojan horse to introduce works as conditions of salvation. And that is something we are adamantly against, because the only condition of eternal salvation is to believe in Jesus for everlasting
And they
life.
can see our magazine at the website, faithalone.org, and they can actually sign up there for it. It comes 6 times a year, and if you're in the U.S., it's free, right, for
It's
U.S.
absolutely
postage?
free. Go to Faith Alone and sign up for the magazine, and you'll read all kinds of wonderful articles about trusting in Jesus and many other things related to the message of life.